Hello everyone, so today I'll be doing dating coach Ruru love therapy session. Let's go. Oh, actually today is Luna's New Year's Eve, so happy Luna's New Year's everyone. I hope you guys had a good reunion dinner if you are celebrating it. And yeah, this video will probably be up on Valentine's Day also, so happy Valentine's Day to all of you guys. And let's get right into the video. I took my extensions out. What do you guys think? Many people tell me that they miss my short hair, so I'm back. Are you team long hair or short hair? This is my dating coach era, so I'm going to be answering some of the questions that you have sent in via the drive. Anyways, thank you guys so much for sending your responses in. I know it's difficult to be vulnerable. Okay, let's get right into the first one. My ex-boyfriend is my best friend and we get along really well. We have the same hobbies and that about stuff that we are passionate about, games, anime, cosplay. The only thing that keeps bugging me is that he cheated on his last ex. We talked about it numerous times and even argued about it that almost made our relationship end. And he's reassuring me that he will not put me in that position and has learned his lesson. I can see that he's changing and trying his best to grow over time, but it keeps bugging me. So one of the reasons why I'm being bothered by it is because he said before that his ex was his perfect partner and no one will compare to her because she's the best. What? If his ex was perfect for him, it means that there is a chance that he will do it to me too. That's why I'm thinking and overthinking throughout the years of our relationship. I want our relationship to work, but my overthinking is really exhausting me mentally and lowers my self-esteem over time. I also noticed that I keep comparing myself to his ex since we kind of have the same hobbies and likes. Do you think when a man cheated before, it's a definitive that he will cheat on his next partner? And how to work on my insecurities and stop comparing myself to his past lover. I really want our relationship to work. I personally don't think that when a man cheats, he will cheat on his next relationship as well. I think that really differs from person to person, and that since that he's growing as a person and he's reassuring you that it will not happen to you, I think you just have to trust the process. I know it's very difficult, but without trust, you're just gonna kind of like dig yourself in a deeper hole and you just keep going like in a negative spiral into this space where like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna cheat on me and stuff like that. But I think for this kind of thing, you have to figure out what type of reassurance like works for you, right? Maybe it's through text, or like maybe it's through like Telegram video bubbles of like, okay, when he's out with friends, he will send you a video to reassure you that, hey, I'm just hanging out with my friends and not doing something wrong. And so everyone has different ways of feeling secure in a relationship. Since you guys have multiple conversations about this, it shows that you guys can communicate. So when you ask for reassurance, just know that you can figure out a style of reassurance that you like, so that he knows how to make sure that you're feeling secure and you're confident in the relationship to keep going. I really don't think that you need to compare yourself to his ex-lover because everyone is different. Like, many people have similar hobbies of like liking anime and cosplay, so I don't think that he's purposefully picked you just because of that. And it is nice to always have someone to talk about something that you like. You just have to tell yourself that I trust this man and he's good to me. I think that when you're sure of yourself, I'm good enough, you will be ready to walk away whenever you need to, whether he cheats or not. So it will still hurt, but you know yourself that you're better than that. The love of my life lives in another country. I do eventually want to move there to be with her, but in the meantime, she doesn't want a long distance relationship. She only wants to be together if we live in the same place, and she doesn't want to leave her home country. I can't move to a country just yet just because I'm not financially ready. And I won't be until a minimum of 3 years from now. The problem is that she really wants to get married at the age of 29, which is 2 years from now. And if I don't marry her by then, she doesn't want to get married at all. Do you think it's worth the risk to move to her home country and try marrying her even if I don't meet her timelines? This is a very difficult situation because she has issued her ultimatum, which is to get married at the age of 29. And you think you need 3 years, but she only has 2 years, so usually men work on a financial clock, so at 29 you don't really, I feel like most people are just starting out in their career field, or like just getting stable to get where they want to be. I think and then for women, they move on a biological clock, which is kind of like correct, like 29, you get married at 29, and then you get a house at 30, and then you get married and you get babies and make family at 31, right? Since she has issued her ultimatum, I think you have to really think about it clearly. Like, 2 years. Do I want to try to work hard like crazy for the next 2 years to try to get her dream come true, which is to get married at 29? Or you think that you really cannot do it at 20 by 30, and you think that you can do it by 30? Actually, 29 and 30 is not that long, so maybe you can ask her, maybe you can ask her if she is willing to wait for another year. But if that is not viable and you don't think that you can do it in 2 years, you should really have a very hard conversation with her that should we continue doing things. This is where a relationship kind of like makes or breaks, because one has issued an ultimatum, right? Yeah, just have the tough conversation. You need it. And if she's willing to wait for you for another year, I think that would be great. But if not, I think it's better to let the expectation go. I'm 187 in height and I go to the gym. I don't smoke. A lot of people have said that my looks is above average. But when I try to talk to women, they are just not interested. Don't get me wrong, I've been trying to improve and understand a lot of micro adjustment for my behavior, like good body language, being myself, being assertive, sympathy and empathy, but from all of my unluckiness, I like to be fair with my standard. I'm also the one to blame that my standard is too high and haven't started work yet because I'm a foreign student. So all the women that I'm attracted to are very high maintenance in general, which I understand that nobody wants to date someone like me. Boy, you got your answer. Like, just wait then. High maintenance girls take money to maintain the relationship. That is a fact. And it doesn't even mean that you have to provide for her yet, right? Because you're a foreign student, I think that you might be like short on cash. Let's just say you're into this high maintenance baddie, right? She is used to going to fancy restaurants and she can pay for it herself, okay? She can pay for it herself, and she likes to go skiing, she likes to do a lot of expensive hobbies. She doesn't ask you to pay, but in order to indulge in the similar hobbies that she has, you have to be somewhere of a financial stability to be able to even go to like the places that she want to go. Not even asking you to pay yet, you know what I mean? If you want a high maintenance girly, just work hard. You seem so young, just when you get a job, all the more you can get yourself a girl of your dreams. I think having standards is good, and everyone here should have standards. Don't lower your standards, okay? I know that eventually you will find someone who is of your standards and that you can afford. After being together for roughly 4 to 5 years, my partner and I have hit a point where things start to feel stagnant. We know each other inside out and become very comfortable, almost like family. While my partner appreciates this sense of comfort, I still crave for excitement and new experiences. I'm still in my 20s and I still feel that there's still so much more to explore. I find myself attracted to other people at times. I've talked to my partner about wanting more excitement for our relationship, but he believes it's normal for things to settle into a family routine over time. I understand that perspective. I still consider myself a romantic and feel a little bit adrift now that my partner feels more like family than a romantic interest. It has left me feeling very single despite being in a relationship. We still spend time with each other regularly and celebrate special occasions together. But I just feel like something is missing. How exactly should I deal with this situation? You have to tell him. Girl, you have to tell him that I want to go on dates. I want flowers. I want this and I want that, right? Sorry for all the men who are listening to this, but most men needs a reminder most of the times. And when they get into a relationship, you said 4 or 5 years, that's a long time, Maybe he starts to forget how to chase a girl, or like basically just replaced all of the times where he spent to chase you to do like, routine stuff, which is not bad. But I think that you have to tell him, tell him like this, okay? Baby, let's go on a date every weekend, shall we? And he'll be like, oh, whatever, that kind of thing. You say that, maybe once every 2 weeks. Like, I really just want to go out and hang out with you. And, I miss the times where you buy me flowers and drive me out and stuff like that. You get what you want, girl. I feel like most men would eat this up, As much as they want the routine, they also want to feel like, they're providing and giving love to their ladies. So I don't think that he would mind it. Just tell him straight up, let's do this together. Why not we climb Mount Everest together and stuff like that. depending on how adventurous you are. I think especially if you're moving to a place of marriage, it's important to have a schedule to know that when you're going on a date. I think a lot of people start to forget. Mostly coming up with a schedule to know when you guys are gonna get romantic is important. Okay. My boyfriend has a few female friends and one of them used to be his crush, but it's making me uncomfortable knowing that they still talk to each other. And my boyfriend is constantly replying her to IG stories and liking her pictures, which is he's aware that it's making me uncomfortable. He has stopped since and we talked about our boundaries, but I still feel so insecure and feel the need to always compete with her. She's in the model industry while me and my boyfriend has been really good friends for a few years before we decided to get together, which makes things even harder because back then he was still crushing on her and I was... Which makes things even harder because back then he was still crushing on her and I was into someone else. He would talk to me about her, and now that we are in a relationship, I keep getting reminded of the things that he used to chase her back then and how she makes him feel in the past. I know my boyfriend genuinely loves me now, but I feel super insecure knowing too much. Any tips to work on my self-esteem and the relationship itself? I've been struggling since. Girl, I hope that you're okay. You know, take some time to digest that. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. That's the very first one, okay? And I think one good thing that I see from this is that he has stopped after you have communicated with him. I think that's the most important thing. Like, I think one really good thing that you have done is to express to him that you're uncomfortable with the situation, right? That you don't want him to be too close to her and stuff like that. Boyfriend is constantly replying to her IG stories and liking her pictures. If he's aware that it's making you uncomfortable, I feel like he needs to work on that. And that is not your fault. You have the rights to be upset about it. Period blank. I'll be so mad if I've explained why, how, when, what about my anger and my upsetness to you, and you ignore that, right? So I fully understand that you're so uncomfortable with it. Girl, what the hell? Okay. Comparison is a theft of joy. We have heard that. As much as he used to have a crush on her, but now he chooses you, so I hope that he has put that through correctly and he made you feel secure in every other part of the relationship. This is why I always believe that it's very difficult for people to get into a relationship if they were too close of a friend in the past. But I guess some people still worked out, honestly. So again, you need to get busy. You need to get yourself a hobby, a friend circle that can support you through all of these situations. You know, when he's making you upset, you know, you have girlfriends to, like, you know, be angry for you and create a justice league behind your back, so you know that, you know, if anything happens, you have someone to talk to. And secondly, building your self-esteem often comes from the part where you go and do things and are enjoying your life in general. I always tell people, you know, you need to get a hobby, whether it's painting, whether it's going to cosplay events, or whether it's like doing art and stuff. Anything. You can be doing anything. Once you get yourself busy, you don't have time to think about such things. Not that he should be doing it though, honestly. Keep yourself busy, keep your head high. I hope that you get your point across and that he will finally listen that you're uncomfortable. You have to tell him directly. Girl. I understand that there will be people who say that, oh, but she was a friend in the past, blah blah blah. No. Girlfriend first. I think it's okay to have female friends, but it's not okay if your girlfriend is uncomfortable. I just got into my first relationship and I love my significant other very much. We're currently slightly past 6 months into our relationship and there has been serious conflicts here and there. It may stem from our insecurities and immaturity, mainly me. As someone who has almost zero friends or no close friends to text on a daily basis, I have nothing to do with my life, so it feels really long for me as I go on a daily cycle of waking up, lying on bed, scrolling reels, eat, sleep. My significant other does not text or check up on me so often, so I feel bothered. I occasionally confront about this, but I feel like it's my fault because of my own insecurities. I don't cope well in school either. I have same issues with my friend group, but when we talk about our feelings and stuff, but when it comes to my significant other, I can't help but get upset, which then make me feel guilty for that as well. I think having a simple routine and life is nothing wrong with that, But having no friends and no social life and no hobbies is a bigger problem. And you yourself has pointed out that you have that problem. So if you're not actively trying to change your life or routine, there's no advice from me will work, because my advice would be telling you to go get a social life, make more friends, go to a dance club, maybe, make some friends who is just new to dancing, or like, start painting, go crafting, tufting, whatever. There's so many things to do in life that, can give you some, friends here and there. They don't have to be super good friends, but they're just friends that kind of like do stuff together with you, and that's very, very important. Humans are social creatures. As much as I'm a homebody, I text my mom often, I hang out with my family often, I have Lucifer with me, and I have some friends that I can always call up and have dinner or have lunch or talk to when I'm upset. So fully relying on one person for that is extremely unfair to your partner. 2024, do something about it. You'll be happier and you will get it, you can get it from there. And most of the time, you just have to take the very first step of trying it. If you're into the relationship in just past 6 months, I think that, and have like very serious conflicts, I think you need to also consider the fact that this person might not be right for you. Because usually in the first 2 years, it is kind of like honeymoon period. So yeah, you know yourself and you know your problems, and the only person that can fix the problem is you. So we are all here for you. I'm here for you, just do something. Just do something. I don't know if my girl is normal mentally. Because she has high or low moments. She doesn't know how to communicate as well when she's overwhelmed with emotions. How do I tell her that it affects me a lot as well? Whenever we would fight, I will be the one to approach her. Sometimes I feel so tired that it has to be me to start the talk. She has a lot of suppressed childhood trauma, and I understand that she has a lot of suppressed childhood trauma, and I understand that, but this really feels like it's something else. Sometimes she gets mad at the little things, and she has a hard time paying attention whenever I talk, but I'm always so lenient with her whenever she doesn't listen to me. But when it's the other way around, she snaps at me. I feel so lost, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to tell her that my mental health is suffering as well. She doesn't know how to take criticisms. She probably has ADHD and needs some therapy to help with all the trauma she's been through. Am I a bad person? What do I do? Are you okay, my brother? Hopefully you're fine, hopefully you're coping well when you're watching this video, but therapy is only for the people who wants to seek help. It is very difficult for therapy to work if the person who is supposed to go to therapy does not want help. And reading this, I feel like you should probably get therapy too. Not in a condescending way, but caring for a person who is mentally ill is very mentally tiring, as much as it is for the person who is suffering with mental illness. Whenever we talk about mental health issues, we forget the people around us are also carrying a little piece and burden of like the mental load that we are just like gushing out sometimes. I think that therapy, for my own experience with therapy, has greatly helped me to identify when I'm acting up and giving myself a solution to help with that reaction. So going to therapy is basically figuring out what is the triggers and figuring out how to control the triggers, which is what I think you both need. I just want to say that I'm so proud of you for sticking this through. It's very difficult to, handle someone who is going through it. Yeah, I hope you don't explode eventually. So if you feel like it's too much for you, you should maybe also get help together with your girlfriend. Maybe when she sees you like going to therapy and getting better and like, knowing how to handle her a little bit better, she would be enticed to want to go to therapy to seek help too. So it always comes as a domino effect. After I started therapy, like 2 of my other friends also started therapy, and it has helped a lot for all of us to talk about our feelings more openly. Anyways, mental health is difficult. I hope you're fine. I hope you're okay. Okay, next. Question 8. Okay. My situation is I know I have to let go and find someone else, but it gets harder each time I meet her as she's my close friend. I don't want to lose the friendship neither. I'm questioning myself as I meet her because it hurts so bad, but I kept it in every time. I want to let go of the love I have in me for her and just stay as friends, but I don't know how. In my mind and heart, she has become the light that brightened up the darkest part of my life, and I'm always happy when I'm with her, which is why it's hard to let go. So my question is, how do I let go of someone whose light saves me from myself? You have to let her go. That's the period point blank. I think the easiest way to do it is to meet subsequently less and less often. So let's just say she gives you 100% like happiness, right? You have to start filling up your happiness from some other friends or some other hobbies. It doesn't have to be 100% because you're so used to getting dopamine from meeting this one person, and I feel 100%, I feel so happy. So meeting some other friends maybe give you like 5%, maybe 10%, maybe playing games give me 20%, right? So it might not be 100%, but you're slowly taking away the measuring cup of this two to pour into some other cup where it gives you some sort of happiness as well. Relying on someone for happiness is really just the root of unhappiness, because if the person one day just leaves us, we are completely empty. I want to say that it's gonna take years, but I hope that eventually you will get it right. Not easy, not an easy thing, but you got this. I'm someone that let goes really fast and really easy because I am quite logical. If someone is no longer serving my best, I will choose to quickly let go because I am someone that is afraid of getting hurt. If someone is starting to fill up to 100, I feel scared. Yeah. Meet her less slowly, get another piece of social life, whether it's a hobby or friends, or could be your parents, hang out with family. Yeah, it will all get better. I was emotionally abused in a previous relationship, and I didn't realize it until much later when the damage has been done. I eventually broke up with my abuser and started dating again a few months later. Truth is, I know that I should have waited before dating this new guy, but I genuinely felt like it was the right thing to do at the time. He's a great guy and honestly the best. He cares for me, puts me first, does his best to cater to every need that I ever had. I love him very deeply, but sometimes the side effect of the abuse I suffered shows up and I become a very unbearable person to be around. I don't want to be this way though. I hate that sometimes I feel the need to treat my boyfriend badly so I can have some sort of power over the relationship. I act up even when he hasn't done anything to warrant the reaction, and I put up a lot of defense when I don't need to, and it hurts him. So now I'm torn between breaking up with him and getting the help I need, or staying with him and hoping he's patient enough with me until I get better. But I feel like the latter would hurt him, and we do love but I feel like breaking up with him would hurt him too much because we do love each other very much. I feel like such a horrible person. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry this is too long. Girl, healing after an abusive relationship is always one of the hardest things to do, and it's harder on the new partner that you're gonna do, especially when you're not completely healed. I think most people cannot even come to the point where they want to get help. So very, very proud of you. Good that you're self-aware that you need help. Wanting to get help is like you're half of your body in already. You just need the time and the energy to be refocused on yourself to get better. And since he loves you so much and he understands, I'm sure that if you talk to him, hey baby, like I really want to get help, I'm sorry if like XYZ happens, like I know that I'm like this, like will you wait for me, and stuff like that. I'm sure if he loves you enough and he wants to be with you, he will stay and he will do the work with you. He will support you and stay by your side when you're trying to recover. You both love each other so much. So if you're trying to heal, I'm sure he will help you and stand by your side. So don't give up! I'm a married man with a cute little kid. I spend most of my time working during work hours, coming back home as early as possible to do laundry, washing dishes and baby items, preparing for childcare items daily. Spending my time reading a book for kids, occasionally gifting my wife things and creating things for fun. However, as time passes, I feel so mundane in my life and losing my sense of love. Any advice to help make things better? This is the point in your relationship where you need to go above and beyond to try to make something happen. My friends that are married that has like a great relationship always say that they have a schedule. So I think maybe you can take that. Like do something crazy or exciting or spicy with your wife on a scheduled date, because you guys don't have the time. You know, when you're both working and busy with life and busy, especially with your baby, you don't have the time to, you know, spend time with each other or like create more spark in the relationship. So having specific dedicated time for that actually works, and hopefully that helps, because you can do something crazy, you know, go on vacation, put your child into childcare or babysitting with your family. If that's not a viable point, maybe there is a professional babysitter for you that you guys can go traveling, or have a short staycation if traveling is not an option for now. Short staycation with your wife, cook together, you know, wear some sexy costumes, you know. All this kind of like small little things are the things that kind of like makes the relationship go have more kind of like a heartbeat. They call it in Japanese they call it doki doki, so it's kind of like your heart pumping moments. To answer your question, break the cycle. If this is the routine that you are finding boring, then break it. You know, maybe instead of caring for the child first, you decide to help your wife first. You know, maybe get her some little something, you know, do some little, I'm not gonna say it, but you know what. And yeah, bring back relationships that's been going on for a really long time tend to have this mundane feeling, and nothing wrong with having a simple life, and I think that's great, and a lot of people crave for that. But yeah, breaking the cycle sometimes is fun, right? That's the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I had fun reading all the responses. There's like 600 or 700 responses by the end of 24 hours. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I appreciate all of you guys. I'm so sorry I can't get to all the questions, but maybe I'll do another one if you guys are interested. So yeah, hope you guys are enjoying the channel, and I'll see you guys again. Bye bye!